invalid answered, "Sir, I have nobody when the water is moving to put me into the pool. But while I am trying to come into it myself, somebody else steps down ahead of me." The 8th verse, Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your bed," that sleeping pad, "and walk." The 9th verse, instantly the man became well and recovered his strength and picked up his bed and walked. Now I stopped there. I know y'all saw the rest of the verse. That's where I'm supposed to stop. Now, okay, people. Okay. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I know the subject says he saw my pain and made me whole. Okay, Jesus questioned the lame man. Now, a certain man was there who had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew he had already been in that condition a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be made well?" So, this man suffered from a paralytic condition for a long time, and apparently was frequently at the pool of Bethesda in hope of healing. It was a hope that had been long disappointed for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there, for some reason, Jesus selected this man among the great multitude of sick people. Okay, let's look at the third verse. Okay, let's look at the third verse. Let's go back to the third verse of the 5th chapter. Okay, let's look at the third verse. Let's go back to the third. In this lay a great number of sick folk, some blind, some crippled, some paralyzed, waiting for the bubbling up of the water. Okay, just so you know, that's where I'm at. Now, all these people with all these conditions, many people, Jesus picks this man. Jesus was not about to conduct a healing crusade at the pool of Bethesda, but he was about to miraculously meet this one man's need. Isn't that interesting that it was just that one man's need? He saw my pain and made me whole. He saw my pain and made me whole. That's kind of the way that's how I saw the man lying there. And Jesus said it could have been many of them there 38 years laying there. But he picked him. A multitude of needy people were there, yet none of them looked to Jesus. A blindness had come over these people at the pool. And there they were, and there was Christ, who could heal them, but not a single one of them sought him. Their eyes were fixed on the water, expecting it to be troubled, and they were so taken up with their own chosen way that the true way was neglected. That's according to Spurgeon's commentary. Spurgeon pictured the multitude waiting around the waters of the pool of Bethesda, all of them waiting, instead of looking to Jesus Christ. He thought how foolish this waiting is for many people. Some wait for a more convenient season. Some wait for dreams and visions. Some wait for signs and wonders. Some wait to be compelled to come. Some wait for a big revival. And some wait for particular feelings to happen. Something emotional, something great. Some wait for a celebrity. Some wait for a certain preacher or apostle or pastor or a certain word. But this man saw Jesus. Do you want to be made well? He said to this lame man who had been laying there 38 years. He asked him the question. This was the sincere question. And it was a sincere question that Jesus asked this lame man. Jesus knew that not every sick person wanted to be healed. Listen, and I'm being transparent as I can be. I'm going to be very, very transparent. I remember a time that I was so caught up in me, and I didn't realize how sick I was, that I wanted certain things to happen. A certain, just like I just said, a certain apostle, a certain revival, a certain healing, a certain way to be healed. Because you know how you just see somebody doing it a certain way, or they say, oh, a prophet is coming in town, but your pastor's right there. But you're waiting for this great move, this great revival. Well, Jesus knew that not every sick person wants to be healed, and that some are so discouraged that they put away all hope of being healed. Been there. You go to every doctor, and I'm sure this lame man, 38 years, have been to so many doctors. They never say how he became lame. They never said he was lame at birth. They just said he was lame for 38 years and went to the pool of Bethesda. And never mentioned his family. Said he had no one to put him in the pool. Well, that's not what Jesus asked him. Jesus said, do you want to be made well? Jesus knew that every sick person wants to be healed. Not everyone wants to be healed. And then some are so discouraged and they put away all hope of being healed. Jesus dealt with a man who may have had his heart withered as well as his legs. Wow. And Jesus therefore attempted to build the faith of this man. You know what? And I'm going to testify. I'm getting ready to testify. Have you ever been brokenhearted? Have you ever been so broken mentally over something? Over a relationship? Over a broken situation? Over broken finances? Over not being able to achieve a certain thing in your career? Not being able to go to another level in your job because everybody keeps passing you up and you keep working harder and harder. Somebody new comes and they pass you up, but you've been there 20 years. Or here's a sick man. It's 38 years. Well, Jesus knew, one, he was not only lame, but his heart was totally withered. And so was his legs. And Jesus was there attempted to build the faith of this man. It certainly is possible that the man's long an apparently hopeless infirmity may have been giving him a look of lethargy and despondency, and the question may have arisen from this. That's from Alfred. It is possible that Jesus asked this even as the waters were stirred and people started jumping and diving and rolling into the waters, each hoping for evidence that they were the favored one. The man Jesus spoke with knew that he was not one of the favored and had no real hope to be healed. Wow. In this man's particular case, it was reasonable to wonder if he really wanted to be healed. An Eastern beggar often loses a good living by being cured of a disease. This is Barclay. As bad as his current situation was, at least he was familiar with it. Have you ever grown familiar with your condition that you're just so used to it, it don't make no difference? You get up every morning and you're like, okay, it's just like, this is just how it's going to be. The man replies and Jesus heals him. And let's go back to the 7th verse. I just want to go back and I want to read something. I want to see if we can get something out of this. Let's go, and I'm going to read from the King James, and let's go to the 7th verse. And the King James says, the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steps down before me. And Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up the bed, and walk. Let's look at Matthew 9 and 6. Let's go to Matthew 9 and 6. Matthew 9 and 6. Okay? Now, let me make sure I'm what he said. Matthew 9 and 6. And I'm going to go there in the Amplified Classic. I was going to go there in another way, but I'm going to stay with the Classic for right now. Matthew 9 and 6. Now, Matthew 9 and 6 says, But in order that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins and remit the penalty, he then said to the paralyzed man, Get up, pick up your sleeping pad, and go to your own house. Woo-wee. And the 7th verse, and he got up and went away to his own house. Now, did y'all hear that? Matthew 9 and 6. Do y'all want me to read it again? Matthew 9 and 6. But in order that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins and remit the penalty, he then said to the paralyzed man, Get up, pick up your sleeping pad, and go to your own house. And he got up and went away to his own house. Let's read the 8th verse of Matthew. Matthew 9 and Matthew 9. Let's read the 8th verse. When the crowd saw it, they were struck with fear and awe, and they recognized God and praised and thanked him who had given such power and authority to men. So this man was now you know the subject. He saw my pain and made me whole. This man was not only paralyzed, he was despondent, depressed. Can you imagine? He was despondent, not only crippled, paralyzed, impotent. He was despondent, hopeless. brokenhearted and didn't think anybody